Is that the good doctor? I think it's a good doctor.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
It's a new doctor.
Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Alright, simmer down, boys, simmer down. It's weird, right? This coat is like, it's one of these coats that a protagonist in a video game can wear, but if I saw you wearing it in real life, I think you're a fairly bad human being, generally speaking.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Alright, let's find out about Buddy Boy. So we need more hints. I just want to talk to everyone and get all the hints and then eat them all. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
This dude might actually want me to eat him. Like, literally.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I usually don't go evil in video games, actually. Do I? No, usually I'm good in video games. The first time through, I tend to play good. I just decided to go evil because we're only going to play the game once.
I based my techniques
harder
on
as
my
well.
mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method.
On Fable, I always
What
play
is
good.
yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories at first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
I was
As
good
long
on...
as you're cautious.
Here we go.
You may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
I was good in Mass Effect, wasn't I? Yeah. You may not see me play Mass Effect, but I was good in Mass Effect. I can't remember any other games. I can't remember any other game I've played on the channel where you can be good or evil.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival,
On
I
the channel.
can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Good point. In Dishonored, when I played Dishonored 1, I did the entire game without killing a single person. So,
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
oh, calm down, lad. You're only dying. Didn't I just get a new hint thing? Where is it? Is it on this? On this one. Aha! About your blood transfusion technique.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Talk to me.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of
HIV?
his own negligence.
Something like that.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Well, we learned some stuff. So we can go back and talk to... there's going to be a lot of talking in this game, I get that feeling. We can go back and talk to what's-his-face. Hello? Looking well. So many people in this game. There's too many people in this game. I need to talk to you.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Gotta find out what happened to Sam.
Any news about my operation?
Oh, you've been telling Porkies, haven't you, son? Oh, it's not that one. It's this one.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Your wife died because of you.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
That's not really his fault. Don't be so hard on yourself, buddy. 2 out of 3, so if we get one more, he's got like the most delicious blood, and then I can eat him.
You
It's all
can't
good stuff.
hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
We all need to eat, buddy. We all need to eat.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Shouldn't call them that around me, should you?
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Since people keep asking what happened to my Lost World commentary video, I got a copyright strike on the Jurassic Park commentary video. Like a community copyright strike. So as I disputed that, I took down the Lost Worlds one because I didn't want to get a second strike and potentially lose my channel. And then the copyright strike got taken away because it was bloody stupid in the first place. So, whatever. Okay, it looks like we can't get the final hint. We're going to have to get it from somewhere else.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Reads me like a book.
Okay, well, I've talked to you. I've talked to you. I've talked to you. I have not taught you... Hello, you're new.
Good
So
evening, sir.
many
I'm
people.
Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Dabbler! Dabbler! Do you need a checkup? Just gonna say no, right?
Do you need my assistance?
Not at all. I'm sure that you are used to gaining people's trust with your impressive skills. Well, it will not be the case with me.
Alright, buddy, calm down. Such a dick. Your thoughts on Strickland's research.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
This dude's got some solid blood quality, right? Okay. Harvey's blaming himself for his injury. Harvey's wife died during the war, so I guess whatever this final one is going to be. Okay, so that's why so that's why you heal them, to get their blood higher, so you get more XP when you meet their face. That makes sense. But they're all healthy, so that's fine.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. but I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
It occurs to me that if you're going to go evil, you don't really need to talk to everyone. I completely disagree. If anything, if you're going to go evil, you need to talk to people much more than if you're going good. Because the whole point is that I want to learn about these people so I can get that blood bar up. So when I kill them, which I'm planning to do, I get bonus XP.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
That's fair enough. Do I trust his judgment? I sort of trust his judgment. Eh.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
Alright, buddy, calm down.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine,
Because I've been here 5
perhaps
minutes.
you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I actually like this guy. I very much agree with this guy's general perspective.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice.
He's a dick,
The
but,
benefit of
you
his
know.
position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
And yet you want to kill him. You see the problem? I don't see a problem with that. Okay, I unlocked a new hint, didn't I?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
Oh, was that for the
I
other guy?
refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Aww. See, we're best friends.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have...
I refuse.
We cannot...
Didn't mean to click that. Did I not get a new hint? Was it not for this guy? Got one. Waverly disproves... Well, I could have picked that up, yeah. Waverly has the best blood. Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Just want a quick little check.
What can I do for you?
Thank you.
Make sure I haven't missed anything.
Good evening.
I still need that one more hint. One more. How am I ever going to get this guy, given that where we are, into like a hospital? Is this the guy I got a hint
Good
for?
evening.
Right? No, never mind. I'm just wrong. Oh no, there it is.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Alright, lad. Okay, right.
Goodbye.
That is everyone talked to, finally. Bloody Nora. There's a new human! So many humans. Oh god, there's 2 of them. Let's talk to him first.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My
What's in his
throat
neck?
hurts too much.
Trying to
I
be a
suppose
cast.
that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
It's a great name. Okay. That's what the medical checkup means. I never did that. Never knew that before. Okay, so we need to make a treatment for fatigue for this guy. Let's talk to him.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
His neck does look like a mess.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not
Oh,
talk.
yeah. I'm not gonna let him get some rest. Not about that life.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I'm getting pretty tired of your act. Right, I obviously need to get the
I have to...
fatigue thing.
Doctor.
Let's talk to his lover.
Good evening, madam.
Or his mum.
Can I help
I
you?
think his
It's
mum.
my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed?
What's going on
I've
with
heard
your
much
hair?
of your talents as a physician.
Does she need anything? No, she's feeling pretty good.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. Rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Zeno's mom.
May I ask if you have an
got it
occupation,
going
Mrs.
on.
Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
She's all I want, and I've waited so long.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Ah.
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Alright, calm down. Not all about that.
Tell me more
Attitude.
about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
There's a bed like right there though. Pippa Hawkins. I don't even know who
She
Pippa is.
charged you for a bed.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your stupor.
I share your concern, Mrs.
I'm
Goswick.
still concerned.
Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
You're not wrong, love. You're not wrong. How are we doing? Oh, you're a toughie. All the older women are toughies. Just like real life. She has a lot of hints. Okay.
Goodbye.
Well, we need to go talk to this Pippa lass as well, wherever the blimmin' hell she is. You Pippa? Who are you?
Don't waste your time with me.
You're not Pippa. There's the two done. There's the doctor and the patient. I suspect we might be done with the downstairs finally. Who are you?
I'm quite busy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Saga's mum. Pippa? Pippa.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet.
There's two more people there.
My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
What's going on in the background?
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last
From
forever.
Marmon, whose mom has it
Even the
going
Black
on more?
Plague didn't kill
Xenos or
I
Sagas?
wish I could believe you.
Xenos.
But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Okay, it's no excuse to be a terrible person though, is it?
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
I can do anything. You would be surprised.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton so grumpy? Let's
Why
find
is
out.
Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Milton hooks. See, this is why you have to do the talking. We're finding stuff
Why does
out.
Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
He will be when I've eaten his face. Hey! 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 But I had the hint! I had the hint! Hey! Okay, the hint doesn't always lead to new things. I guess.
Goodbye.
Okay. Eventually, I'll run out of people to talk to. I'm pretty sure I just saw a person disappear into a staircase. Eventually, I will
Dr.
run
Swansea
out
is right. This place
of
seems
people
perfect to conduct my
to talk
research.
to. Who's this? Are you new?
Good evening, sir.
Oh, you're new as well.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
Oh.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Oh.
What can you tell me about the staff in the
If
hospital?
we're gonna get hints, they'll be from this one.
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. a clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further.
Ooh.
If she was a man,
Ooh.
she would be a damn fine practitioner.
A little sexist, but whatever. You okay, buddy? You're okay. Oh, you got hints for days.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Do some practitioning. Well, I got a hint, right? Okay.
Goodbye, Doctor.
So yeah, the hints I found out about other people, I didn't necessarily find out about her. Oh, I can evolve like a dragon and steal some stuff. Okay. Oh look! Oh, is this what's his name again? Crockett? No idea. Tippett.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Toppett.
I'm new here.
I've already heard about you,
Milton
Dr.
Hooks,
Reed.
that's close.
I'm Milton Hooks.
That's close.
The ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun,
Who's close?
remember, I may have something for you.
Oh, he's a shop man. Can I still kill him? Can I kill everyone? I want to kill a shop man.
I'd like to...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
What have you got for me, buddy? Milton shotgun. Oof! Oof! Some hand... I'm not going to buy anything, obviously. Hey, Milton, buddy! We're not done here.
Good evening.
We're not done.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful.
Whoa,
We
Milton.
lack everything.
Whoa.
And it's getting worse every day.
I want to point out, by the way, I feel like in the early 1900s that a black dude could not be so casually just hanging around, chilling, and having an okay time. Just saying.
So what do you do
Or
exactly,
acting so uppity to a white dude.
apart from
Especially a
smuggling
prominent
guns?
white dude.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Sometimes I just steal them.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Since you're on the front line...
Midnight in the
how is
garden
the
of good and
sanitary
evil.
situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
You can't shoot a virus, Milton. Milton is such a good name. I'm gonna be sad to kill him.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Wasn't this dude meant to be a not chatty dude? He's like the chattiest dude. Okay, no, he's not. Okay, we're done.
Goodbye, Milton.
See you, Milts. I'm gonna call you Millie. I'm gonna call you Millie, Milts. I'm calling you Millie, not Milts. Okay. I now believe I've talked to everyone on the bottom floor of this hospital. Then again, I've said that about 5 times. I've talked to about 10 people or something ridiculous. Oh, please don't be new. Please don't be new. Please don't be new. You're the dude from before, right? Zeno's pervert teacher.
Doctor.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Goodbye, Doc.
I would not call a child Milton. Milton dog. Ah, I am going to talk to her just briefly.
Good evening.
Yeah, I don't care about this.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Okay. That wasn't that informative, really. Do I have 2 hints on her? Oh, just one. She's worth a lot of XP, though. She's, like, by far the highest worth. At, like, only one thing, she's worth 3,000. Look, she's a 5 to break. I don't actually know how to level that up. Anything else?
I'm not familiar with all this.
Brilliant.
Most.
It would...
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never...
Why should
I've already
I
done all
guess
this.
it's
Why don't
fair
we
to
have
say
this
he's
one?
always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
I see him putting it together. Corcoran is... Corcoran Tippett, what a name. He's exhausting himself, refuses to stop working. We're climbing. They like each other. Oh, hello. Mortimer Godley. See, we've got most people. There's only... Right, I know we've talked to a lot of people, right, and it's kind of been a little excessive, but... I wish I hadn't done that one so early. Only 500 XP, that's rubbish. But we've talked to near enough a quarter of the people in the game, if we talk to 5 more people. So it's not that bad, assuming this is like the full thing, you know? Who's that? Dorothy Crane? I don't know who that is.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need...
I'm basically a vampire detective.
It's safer here than anywhere else.
Which is the dream! I need to evolve, man. It's been sitting there for ages. Okay. Are we now done with at least the bottom... No, yeah, I forgot about you. Hi, pal.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm
fix your
Dr.
face.
Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Well, it's still your name just because you don't have a face. What's wrong with you, buddy? You're fine.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
I don't think there's much that you can do about that.
Can I do anything
In
for
a
your
hospital.
pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Some taken.
Goodbye.
Okay, Mr. Elwood. You were talking to a lass
The pain.
a little earlier. Oh, there's another dude. Of course it bloody is.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
What's the dude from before?
Oh,
Was
sorry,
he
I must
from
apologize for my
Bill?
behavior.
Will.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why.
Blood.
Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Is that not a clue? Seems like a clue.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Compiling a list of people who Biss will kill and who Biss will spare. I'm not sparing anyone. They're all dying.
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Duke Digby.
Oh, my bad.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Clay Cox is the dude I killed, right?
I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Thank you, Sean. How are we doing? High quality blood.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Yikes.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
You can't not kill the Irish guy just because he's got a little bit of Irish in him.
Who should I avoid?
A little bit of Irish in me. Got a little bit of Irish in you.
Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
But it could be, and then I would get extra blood when I kill them, so don't you want to help a brother out?
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Doesn't she look old?
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say.
Don't you think?
Not mine, anyway.
Okay, I think we're done, Shawnee boy.
Goodbye, Mr.
God damn, this is a lot of talking. But I feel like it's necessary. I do, and I'm down with it. But I think it's too much. I feel like they could have broken it up a little bit. You know, let me just stab someone in the face. This is the crazy dancing woman I saw earlier. Hello, crazy dancing woman.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but
6 words, not 4 words. I thought that's what it was, but it's not.
You will either suddenly become a vampire or a werewolf.
My clemency.
Which do you choose and how do you hide it?
Tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
It's gonna come out with that, right? Let's talk about it. Wait, she must have some problems. No, she's fine. She's chill.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's mind, you see?
I'm surprised you're saying werewolf. Oh, vampire any day.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Feel that, friendo. Feel that.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Please, describe to me how
You am
feel.
delusional.
What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
She's totally gonna kill someone.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Isn't the garden near the morgue where that dude lost the patient earlier?
The staff here are not your enemy.
I think
they're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
I have plenty of investigations.
I'll leave you.
Mistress of the Dark. Go with your proclivities. I want to have a little look at my... Whoa, what's all this? Collectibles, lore documentation, weaknesses of vampires. Okay, whatever. It's my inventory. It's my dude. I wonder if he's going to become more... You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Ah, see, this is the investigations, right? So we can... So that's my main one. That's what I'm doing, right? Enter the backyard garden. These two are both in the garden. No, that's not my main quest. I've got a main quest and I've got investigation. Reach the pharmacy. Track. Miss, how do I know where to go for that? Is there a... How do I move the bloody map? That's what I'm curious about. Ah, okay. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Oh, the pharmacy's bloody map's right. Right, let's just go upstairs in the hospital, do that first, then we'll go do some sleuthing. Actually, now that I think about it, I should do that one first. Shoopy, shoopy, shoopy. Shoopa. Shoopy, shoopy, shoopy. It's out there somewhere. Okay, wait. She said up the stairs. Left. Second floor. Second floor is this floor. Because we're British. But was it made by an American company? In which case they probably think this is the first floor.
Not now.
Let's Dr. Swansea. That is... shut. See, this is not the second floor. Well, no, this is the second floor. This is not the first floor, because we're British, right? Or is it the other way around? I always forget. For me, the second floor is the second floor, right? We don't do the whole ground floor thing. Yeah? Yeah, I'm not crazy. I don't think so. Maybe it's down here though. Maybe the game's not wrong. Yeah, the first floor is the ground floor. We don't have a ground floor and then a first floor. We just have a ground floor, which is the first floor. Used hacksaw, cool. Elwood has survived it. Ah, see, we're gonna find clues just by exploring the map. Oh no, that means I have to properly look around the map. Game, stop making me do things. Is this it? I have to read. Oh, this is it. Okay, so the game has got the Britishness down. Good stuff. Nothing in here. Right, this is my new office. It's lovely.